Hey everybody, hope you had a great day and I hope you're all doing well. Obviously, you've heard that way too much in every single email you fucking sent during this pandemic. I hope you're doing well throughout this entire day. My name's Alex Treshan. I decided to start a podcast, and before we start that, I figure you guys need to get to know me, get to know the humor, get to know where I come from, where I stand, and there's no better way for that to happen than my lovely producer, who I'm also sleeping with, to ask me some questions and really get in and dive into the details.
Why did you decide to start a podcast?
Yeah, that's probably the most important question. A myriad of reasons. If we were to start with the first one, this past year and the past few years and the past 4 to 6 years, there have been way too many things to make fun of on all sides of the spectrum. And I really feel like comedy's the way that I've gotten through the better part of those 4 years, and making fun of literally everything. And not everyone's gonna like it, but that's really where I'm at. That's the first reason. The second reason is it's a perfect outlet for me, just to be able to not bottle up certain feelings and maybe not attack certain human beings online. But yeah, I feel like this is a much healthier outlet to get out my frustrations on both sides and all spectrums of what's going on this planet right now.
And just thoughts and humor, and to make people laugh?
Thoughts, humor, make people laugh, make people think, talk about sports, talk about, I'm a scientist by nature. I love science, I love math, I love physics. We'll get into a ton of cool stuff about that. We'll pull up articles. That's why you're here. You can pull the stuff up that we need to talk about.
That's right.
And don't think that your role is anything more than that.
He's scared I'm gonna steal his thunder, so.
But yeah, those are the two main reasons, I would say, for sure. The third one is just I've always been creative. I play shit guitar. I have a shit taste in hip hop music that I like to put into acoustic guitar every once in a while, and just finding another outlet to stay creative. And hopefully I don't get canceled.
We're not here to watch what we say, but just to share our thoughts.
Yes. Next question.
All right, well, actually I don't have a question. I have a topic though for you.
Sure.
If you'd like to share your thoughts. Former conspiracy theorists need empathy, experts say.
Former conspiracy theorists need empathy. I would agree to a certain extent, but at the same time, these people need to be brought to the slaughter. At the same time, you can only feel sorry for somebody for so long. At some point, you have to meet your maker. At some point, you will wake up one day. This isn't even a hypothetical. You will wake up one day, and you will wonder if every single thing that you thought, which is probably what you're doing already. You're waking up every single day wondering if you exist, or wondering if Nancy Pelosi is going to eat your children, or anything crazy like that. You're constantly on edge. But my hope for these people is really just that they come to grips. But if that were to ever happen, you do have to have some degree of empathy, I would feel like, towards these people, because what are you going to do? I would feel so sorry. It has to be the most stressful job, being a conspiracy theorist.
I recently read somewhere that the reason why people fall victim to conspiracy theories so easily is because it plays off of their biggest fears and it feeds into those. So that would be, I guess, where the empathy would come in, is these people are terrified.
Yeah, but who isn't right now? Who isn't terrified, you know? It's, yeah, I mean, God bless those people. They come up with the craziest things. I mean, QAnon and all this stuff is dead. There's no way after the election, and just that internal thought. That's probably why I feel sorry for these people the most, is just waking up one day and thinking, hey, this isn't going the way we thought it was going to go. You know, and then what do you do after that? You have to find the next one. And you know, pandemic's a perfect way to do it. There's a ton of fake news and crazy stuff going on out there. But yeah.
What is one conspiracy theory that you have at some point in your life either fallen for or almost agreed with?
Yeah, there's some legitimate ones out there. I mean, there's ones that, you know, and that's the thing with a lot of this stuff is, and this is the other part you have to go with, a lot of this stuff does sound crazy when they do say it. But things like the JFK assassination, I think there was definitely some weird stuff. And it's not even that it's a conspiracy, it's probably that we just didn't get the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't go, it can't go as crazy as, you know, JFK hired somebody to kill him. Like it doesn't go that crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not getting the whole story. Like, you know, that's a big one. I think with JFK and data's coming out through CIA, data's coming out through all leaked documents, and eventually things become unclassified and whatnot. So JFK is a big one.
JFK, you said there was stuff coming out with the CIA and stuff. So that would be a credible source.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even really that credible, but it's corroborated. That's probably the biggest thing, is corroborated evidence, and not on a tiny scale that every person is thinking now with a pandemic and things like that, and very small scale news. Like you're talking about like high levels of intelligence, corroborated stories, and things coming out, and you know, even to this day, we'll probably never know. We will probably never know what happened with JFK. And that dude was the shits. He was with the shits and he got the shits, and that's the reason he got whacked. I'll tell you that right now. He was with it.
Mm.
And he got it. You love him. And Marilyn Monroe.
I like that kind of conspiracy theory.
Everyone knew they were having sex.
Yeah, that's the good kind with it's just like harmless celebrity.
Yeah, whatever happened to a harm? Is there such thing as a good harmless conspiracy theory?
Well,
you know?
I mean, she did die afterwards, so that's also a conspiracy in itself. In that, did the Kennedys have her, you know, killed because of this affair with JFK? So that's another conspiracy surrounding.
And then it starts getting crazy though. But is there such thing as like a nice harmless conspiracy theory?
I would say no.
I think just the fact that you call it a conspiracy, somebody has to get hurt for it to happen.
Yes. What would you say is the worst conspiracy theory you've ever heard?
It's gotta go, oh man, it's the easy one. It's just the entire
Is it the 5G network one?
Yeah, the 5G network, I can kind of back that one. You know, 5G was coming out right as the pandemic was happening, and that one was absolutely hilarious because these people started linking a bunch of 5G towers to giving people COVID, and basically their brain leaking out of the ears. So we always joke when we're driving by the 5G towers. I always tell the kids to plug their ears so the brain doesn't leak out. But yeah, no, and that one's also horseshit. I mean, like, we have way bigger things to worry about than what 5G is going to do to us than giving us COVID. 5G is the next step to having computing in your brain. You just have to get faster. The only thing that's holding us back from having computers in our brain right now is bandwidth. That's the only thing. So there will come a time, and I mean, Elon's already working on, you know, his cyber brain fucking implant, whatever, IntelliLink or something like that, whatever the hell it's called. But he put it into a pig, and they're able to see what the pig is thinking, basically. So, yeah, there's stuff like that. That's not even conspiracy. Like, okay, there's a quote, and I can't remember what it was, but the truth will always be less exciting than the fake news. Because at some point, you know, things like that, like, it's almost the reverse, because you just talk about the things that are actually happening right now, and everyone just bats an eye. They're like, that's hilarious. You know, why not put the fucking phone in my brain? But the conspiracy theory stuff, you know, everything has to be more exciting because there has to be more to the story. I want more to the story. I don't have anything else to do in my life. I'm in a pandemic. I need more story. You know, yeah, that's the annoying part of human nature. But God bless those people. They're absolutely exhausted. They wake up every single day, fucking wanting more, needing more, getting to the next story. That I could never do it. Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, the craziest story's got to be the 5G thing. Anything with the pandemic is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, I found that Neuralink for Elon Musk
Yeah.
unveils pig with chip in its brain.
That's right. The future is coming, people. It's coming. They want to put the robots in your house. They want to put the chips in your brain, not through the vaccine. You will voluntarily put the chip in your brain, trust me. Everyone's terrified of Bill Gates putting a chip, sneaking it into you through a COVID vaccine.
Right.
Trust me. When they show it to you, you will look at them and go, yes, mommy. Yes, mommy. You will do it. You'll do whatever you need. And trust me, that time is coming. I trust me.
Like
if you want it, you can get it. Like they're telling everybody with the vaccine. By September, if you want it, every human can get it. That's what they're saying in Canada anyways.
Like it'll be masqueraded as like the next iPhone.
Well, yeah. Just
like how people are afraid that the government's tracking them when they voluntarily turn on their
that's right.
location services on their
phone. And then
phone.
everyone shares on Facebook, hey, make sure you turn off your tracker. All they fucking do is just depersonalize your ads. They know exactly where you are. They know exactly what you're doing. Stop fooling yourself about that. So if you want to get off the grid, then get off the internet. Then throw the phone away. But yeah, it's happening. I mean, they're doing a lot of cool stuff like that. Now that will come. Like they say, with great power comes great responsibility. A lot of that stuff will come. And now the problem with this happening is that legislation is always decades behind technology. So like when they should have been regulating artificial intelligence, they're just starting to think about that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's way too far gone for that already. Computers are telling us what to buy, telling us what to think, know what we want to buy, know what we want to think. That there's no legislation written into trade, like a little bit on intellectual intelligence and things like that in some of the code, but yeah, it's coming. Are you ready? Are we ready for that? I mean, the kids put on the VR and they're in a different world, so what's going on?
Yeah. Well, I think now's a good time to insert a lasagna recipe at this point.
It's a little bit of an inside joke, but we really need to be doing this on everybody's post, and everyone has to get with me on this one. We all know, and let's not fucking kid ourselves here, we all know what Facebook is used for right now. It's to spread hate and QAnon conspiracy theories mixed in with a little bit of a lasagna recipe, and this is what I made for dinner last night. And there's no there is no in between. There is typically no in between. Their lasagna recipe, which yes, I would take it and I will eat it, and maybe we'll try to make it.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves. We all know what it's for. It's lasagna recipes, and China is culturally appropriating my grandmother. And my ask for today is for all of you to post a lasagna recipe, post something you made last night for dinner on a fake news article about the pandemic or about how we're all in shackles and everything like that, because it has to come full circle. You need the post that is complete nonsense, and the only rational thing to do after that is to follow it up with a lasagna recipe to show people how to survive during this time.
No, I mean, I think I agree. Like, there's just so much negativity on social media, whether it be like just hate or fake news or just like people arguing. So to lighten the mood and put like a lasagna recipe in the midst of like 30 comments of people arguing is just good.
And they all get it. They all get it too. Like, it will gain traction. Like, if you're already on a feed like that and you see all these comments, like, these people know. They see the lasagna recipe and they're like, oh yeah, I posted that one last night. Did you get that from me? You know, they get jacked up. They're like, oh fuck yeah, he gets it. Nothing would make my day more than for someone to send me a screenshot of a lasagna recipe in the midst of absolute chaos. Like the comment above is like, yeah, you're fucking right. You know, fucking, you know, 5G towers did give me brain damage, and yeah, I did start sneezing after I drove past that thing. And then there's a lasagna recipe right below that, and then one below being like a completely contradictory thing to the one above, being like, absolute nonsense, here's the facts, this is that, this is this, you know, it's not socialism. Yeah, that would be the best thing. That would be so funny.
Yeah, but in honesty, like, I did actually take a step back from social media, and because it was getting heated.
You did.
And
we have two different stances on that.
Yeah.
Which I find fascinating. We agree on a lot of things. And she doesn't like a lot of the stuff I do, but she's also just the producer. And she steers the conversation in the right direction. And that's all she does. But we do have two completely different stances on this, and I agree with both of them. Now, the way that this stems is anything that happens on Facebook is grandstanding. It's the definition of grandstanding. And if you were to look at psychology, and if you were to look at things that prevent or deter grandstanding, there's really only two options. The one that I take is public shaming and public humiliation, because that's the fun one. That is honestly the fun one. That's the funnest one. Getting into it a little bit, you have to have a compartmentalized view on how you're doing this, and you actually have to understand that you're doing the greater good to a certain degree. I'm not planning on changing these fucking humans' minds. But maybe at some point when all of this goes back to normal, and it will go back to normal. There will be some sense of normal. But, you know, you have to get to a point where maybe they look back and be like, oh fuck yeah, you know, didn't quite work out the way I thought it was gonna be. That's my approach to it. I like to shame and make sure that at least I did my part in making sure that, you know, you didn't believe what you thought. Now Amy takes a different approach.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. But
it's healthy.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. I like tried to like confront somebody about, you know, like there's a whole bunch of anti-vaxxers out there now, especially in light of the pandemic. So, you know, I just saw a lot of fake information, unsupported information being spread. So I simply just provided them with accurate information. Got attacked with like, you know, 30 different comments from anti-vaxxers. So
the equivalent of being stoned in the middle of the street in 1664.
So I realized you'll never change a conspiracy theorist's mind, essentially.
That's right.
Because
so your approach is what?
My approach now is ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
And I simply just unfollow
and watch the world burn.
I simply just unfollow these people who post negative things or who comment on my stuff negative things, because I'm just all about not having negativity in my life. So ignorance is bliss. I unfollow. I have to block in some cases, but at the end of the day, it's my social media news feed. So whatever I'm absorbing, you know, I get to choose.
Yes,
so,
that's true. Yep.
You know, so I now focus on just educating people on how to find accurate, supported information versus, you know, something that they heard from a friend of a friend or some sort of conspiracy documentary.
You took a very civil approach to that. Have you tried just lambasting somebody online before? It's liberating. It's fantastic.
It's not. It doesn't
yes,
get. It
yes.
does not get you anywhere, because you can't change their mind. They will just keep it.
But you can't go into it like that.
No, but I get really what's the word? Anxious. So
yes.
I don't like arguing with people. I would rather just, you know, live my life in peace and happiness.
That's nice. Yeah. You do bring the peace and the happiness piece to this podcast and this family and this whole house. So yes. That is what makes you you. That's what makes me me.
And I gotta rein you in.
And you gotta rein me in and make sure that I'm going down the right path, and you know, and that's pretty much where that's where we lie.
Yeah. So.
Now, you guys, we were supposed to do a questionnaire at the beginning. You know, it's a little bit to get to know me. This is not even our first episode. None of the shit is even working yet. It doesn't work. It doesn't work on the fucking Chromebook.
These are all for show.
So yeah, it's just the way everything's supposed to look. We figured we'd give you a shot of the podcast studio, which is literally just our fucking living room. And we got the fire going. We got a couple guitars. Yeah, let us know what you think about this, and we might try to move it around. But I kind of like this. This is pretty slick.
It's real toasty. It's like I have a seat warmer, but it's the fireplace warming up my butt.
Yeah, no, I like it too. I think it's a good vibe. But yeah, none of this shit is currently working right now because, as I learned as I start this thing, is you fucking need a bunch of equipment. You basically have to be an IT guy, which I am at my job and what I do. But this is just a completely different realm, completely different beast. So I'm learning as we go. The first YouTube video was up. That was an absolute blast to do with Oren. We got a lot of other stuff coming. I got some great podcast art that's in the mix right now. A good buddy of mine, Jason, did absolutely horrifying, nightmare fuel, sleep paralysis demon drawing of me, and I paid the motherfucker $30 to do it. And do I regret it? No, not at all. Is it my profile picture on all four of my social media accounts? Yes. Right? So yeah, I mean, I embrace it. Is that going to get booted once I get the actual guy who I paid to do a picture for? Yes, that's going to get booted. So.
But thanks, Jason.
But thank you. Thank you for doing that picture. I really do appreciate it. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to say some crazy stuff. Not everyone's going to like it, and that's fine. It's, like I said, I put out a couple of posts. This is not for you guys. This is basically for us. We like having fun doing it. Mm-hmm. We like talking. We like going back and forth. We've been, I guess, to get into a little bit with us, we've been married for the better part of 14 years now. Or together for
13 years.
Yeah, we've been together for the better part of 13 years and married for 8.
2013?
Yeah, so we're coming up on 8. So 7, yeah.
Or no, 2012. Right.
Yeah, see, she doesn't even know.
So
I'm good.
Bad.
I'm good, yeah. I don't even have to know. We've been together for a very long time. And we have very little boundaries as husband or wife. We keep everything very open. She puts up with all my bullshit, and I barely have to put up with anything with her, so.
We banter a lot in the kitchen, and when we're just standing around the countertops, so you guys will get some insight into our conversations.
And that might even be the top answer to why I started this podcast, is because we can sometimes, split a good bottle of wine and talk about just the funniest stuff, and like we just go down complete rabbit holes. And every single time we have these conversations, I think to myself, like, people need to hear this. It's absolutely hilarious. They don't even need to hear it. It's just a different perspective. It gives you guys a little bit of outlook, into fucking how we think and how we kind of run our family. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to do it.
Me too. It's gonna be good.
So we talked about the studio. We talked about some horrifying podcast art. We talked about some really good podcast art coming. We haven't talked about the name yet. And Amy is really proud about this name, so I'm gonna let her say what it's gonna be called, because it was really her idea, and just from her saying it, I paid her $10. So I mean, it's really in her best interest.
I feel like I need like a real deep announcer voice for this. Hold on. Okay. Don't make fun of me here. But...
Should we do it together, or you do your low announcer voice, and maybe we'll equalize it once you're like, yeah,
Yeah, exactly Here he is, talking about the topics that everybody's too afraid to.
Oh my god.
Say when with Alex Tretion.
It's going to be called Say When. The podcast is going to be called Say When with Alex Tretion. Say When by Alex Tretion. I think it's Say When with Alex Tretion. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. So apparently we just decided it now. But yeah, I just figured it was the perfect name because when you look up Say When in Urban Dictionary, it's basically a term that means like, hey, stop putting too much pepper on my fucking pasta, Olive Garden waiter, stop now. But he doesn't stop. Like imagine that. So that's basically where it comes from, is food. It's something that you're intaking, right? Mm-hmm. Basically. So like, say when, or someone's pouring you something and say when, right? Mm-hmm. Or someone's putting the Parmesan cheese. Now just imagine if your waiter at Olive Garden was like, hey, would you like some Parmesan cheese with that? And you say?
When?
Yeah, and I say, yeah, say when.
When?
And he just keeps going. And like, you're already complaining to the manager, and he's still like this.
Had it. I'll think of something.
No lines like that. It's called Say When. Just imagine your waiter asking you to do something, you agree to it, and then he doesn't stop. And I guess at that point you have to fucking leave. And that's the point of this podcast. I'm not gonna stop putting pepper on your fucking lasagna at Olive Garden. I will not stop. Right? I guess it's up to you. At that point you just have to leave. Maybe you won't come back, maybe you will. Maybe you like a lot of pepper, I don't know. But that's the name of the podcast, Say When with Alex Tretion. And yeah, we're really excited to get it started. Give us a couple more, maybe a week, just to fucking get the laptop bullshit situation figured out. I really want the audio going. This audio probably sounds like shit. But yeah, I'm all in. Let's go.
It's gonna be good.
I'm all in. It's Super Bowl week. I'm jacked for Brady. I'm jacked for Mahomes. You hate Mahomes. I don't like him either.
Oh my god.
Right? You just don't like that. Announcers hype him up all the time. He's constantly doing crazy stuff, and it's annoying.
I feel like everybody just talks about him so damn much that like I've heard his name like fucking 40,000 times that I'm just like, all right,
it's too much.
I don't like you now.
Yeah, it almost like pushed us towards, nobody likes the Patriots. The whole Patriot way thing and how many Super Bowls that fucking team won. But Tom Brady's actually a pretty cool cat, if you think about it. So I'm going with the GOAT. Amy's also going with the GOAT. The kids like Mahomes. I mean, he won the Super Bowl last year. He's
closer to their age.
Yeah, closer to their age. He is a fantastic player. But yeah, let's go.
We're cheering for the old, washed up quarterback.
Yeah, except he's not washed up. 36 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the red zone this season. Don't play yourself. He's not done. He's not done.
No, he carries the entire
Oh God,
team.
it's the worst team in the. Yeah, fuck. I mean, yeah, that's for another day.
So we're not cheering for the Bucks, just so you know. We're just cheering for Brady.
Yes, sure. That's a taste of what you guys are gonna see. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.